Hey everyone, how's it going there? This will be part two of the Pendulum Magician combo video that I started. Initially I was just going to do one, but once I realized that I was hitting that 10-minute mark, I didn't want to try to squeeze this combo that I'm about to show you. Was going to be in that video, but I didn't want to go too long with it, so I decided to split it up. I'm just going to toss in this 4-card combo and then another 3-card combo. The way that I've been getting these combos is just kind of by doing test hands and then kind of seeing what the most consistent sort of cards that you see in your hand are. And anyways, this is a lot of them do involve the star pendulum graph, just because those are kind of the combos that are easier to do in regards to less than 5 cards. Just because normally you'll have always that 5th card to actually be able to use in lieu of searching out another magician off of Star Pendulum Graph. But anyways, let's get right into this one. For this one, it requires Master Cerberus, any magician that you could normal summon, and then basically either Oath Dragon, Wisdom Eye, Black Fang, or Harmonizing. Black Fang kind of being the one that you have to work around with, so I decided to choose that just because any of the other ones would be better choices. But Black Fang is also really good just for its pendulum effect anyways. And then the 1-star pendulum graph, or of course you could use Duelist Alliance to search that out. So technically you are running like 6 copies of star pendulum graph. But anyways, let's get right into this. So we'll start off by activating the Master Cerberus and Scale, using its effect to add Jackal King to hand. Now we will activate that Jackal King and Scale, use its effect to special summon out that Master Cerberus. Now we can normal summon our level 4 lower magician. Now we can activate our Scale and our Star, and then that'll put on counters onto the Cerberus, and at that point we could have banished a monster that our opponent controlled. Now we'll link summon into Electromite. And if you're scared of Electromite being Ghost Ogred, I believe you can make Electromite Chainlink 1 and Pendulum Graph Star Chainlink 2. And I feel like, well, with having a 5th card in hand, that'd probably be better because you'd be able to use that 5th card. But just since this is a 4-card combo, and we're going to play without disruption anyways, I'll just let that out there, just saying that. But anyways, yeah, you'll use Electromite to dump Astrograph. And Star Pendulum Graph will add Wisdom Eye to hand. Now then we will activate Wisdom Eye in Scale, and then we will use its effect to destroy itself to bring out Harmonizing Magician. And now Electromite will pop that Harmonizing Magician to add Astrograph, and then Astrograph's effect will trigger to special summon itself and add another Wisdom Eye because it was destroyed this turn. Now we can activate that Wisdom Eye. And then we'll get out Oath Dragon into Scale, activate Oath Dragon's effect to add Harmonizing from the extra deck to him. Yeah, one thing I forgot to mention, I stopped doing the drawing off of Electromite just because I wanted to show just solely the cards that we are working with, because we weren't going to actually work with those cards that we drew. But anyways, you would also go plus, you would draw 1 off of the Electromite, so if this was your turn 1, then you would actually have 2 additional cards in hand. But with that out of the way, we are ready for our Pendulum Summon. And we will Pendulum Summon out the Jackal King in the outside zone that Electromite points to. We'll get Wisdom Eye from the extra deck. Now we'll get our Harmonizing, and then we'll get Dragon Pit from the deck. Now we can make an Omega with Harmonizing and Wisdom Eye. Rip a card out of the opponent's hand. Then overlay for Absolute Dragon. And then we can link away with the Electromite and the Absolute Dragon into Decode, and then Absolute Dragon's effect will kick in, summoning out the Vortex Dragon. So yeah, as you can see, we have our Jackal King, where as soon as our opponent activates a spell card, he will gain 2 counters, and we will be able to negate a monster effect. And then we have our Vortex Dragon, which can negate a spell or trap card or monster effect. And then we got Decode, which has protection from targeting, and also our Jackal King is protected from our Star Pendulum Graph. A lot of these boards that we can end up on are kind of the same, it's just different ways of getting there. Alright, so for this 3-card combo, it requires you to open up with double Astrograph Sorcerer and Star Pendulum Graph. It's a little unlikely, but in testing I have opened up double Astrograph, and anyways, we'll just play this one through because it ends on, it's a 3-card combo that can end on a pretty similar board to the other ones that we have seen. So for starters, we will activate our Astrograph in scale, use its effect to destroy itself, to special summon out Stargazer from the deck. And then that will trigger Astrograph Sorcerer to special summon itself, and then add another Astrograph Sorcerer from deck to hand. Now we can activate our Star Pendulum Graph and link away into Electromite. And yeah, because the Magician left Monster Zone, we get the add off of Star, but Electromite will dump Wisdom Eye into the extra deck, and then Star Pendulum Graph will add Harmonizing. Now we can activate Harmonizing, pop it with Electromite to add Wisdom Eye to hand, and now Astrograph in hand will go. It'll special summon itself and add another Harmonizing. And of course, we can get our draw 1 off of Electromite here, but just for the purpose of this combo, I won't show that. And now we're just about ready here. We'll activate our Wisdom Eye and our Harmonizing, and now we can use Wisdom Eye's effect to pop itself to add, or to place Oath Dragon in scale, and Oath Dragon will add Harmonizing from the extra deck. Now we can, I think we're ready for our Pendulum Summon here, so we can Pendulum Summon out Astrograph into the 1 zone on the right. It doesn't really matter what you Pendulum Summon there, he's just kind of there for a big body and for something to boost up our decode. Anyways, Wisdom Eye from the extra deck in the other zone, Electromite points to, then Harmonizing, and then of course our Dragon Pit. And I kind of messed up on that portion of the combo. I meant to go into Omega and then banish it, but I guess I just kind of skipped that portion. Anyways, yeah, Harmonizing and Wisdom Eye go to the extra deck to Synchro Summon Omega. Then Omega would have banished itself, and then that would have freed up that zone. But I was thinking that you could go into whatever XE that you want in that zone, and then just use the far right Astrograph and Dragon Pit to go into Absolute. But anyways, we'll just carry on here. It's not too big of a deal, because there wouldn't be an Omega on the field anyways. Now we made that Absolute. We link away with Electromite and Absolute into Decode, and then Absolute will special summon out Vortex Dragon. So aside from this, just pretend there's an Omega banish and we ripped a card out of their hand. But that's basically the combo there. It ends up pretty similar to a lot of the other stuff that we've seen. You kind of get your 1 negate and protection from targeting at one point. Of course, that would tribute our Astrograph and not our Vortex Dragon. But that's pretty much it for the combo video for now. I want to run through a lot more test hands just to kind of see, because a lot of the plays that I do kind of go through all the cards in hand, or it's just things wind up different when you see a full hand and you know what you got. But I guess sometimes, you know, these are just what you could do if you opened up with like the trap card or a hand trap or what have you. I know I guess the part 1 kind of had the better ones where you wind up with like a full board full of negates. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video. Have a good one.